An investigation into more than 115 bodies found improperly stored in a Colorado funeral home offering green burials could take months. The remains were found in the Return to Nature funeral home in Penrose, about 30 miles south of Colorado Springs. Quote, this is going to be a very, very lengthy process. With the number of descendants we have in this facility and the identification process that needs to be completed, this could take several months. No arrests have been made. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation and the FBI are assisting the Fremont County Sheriff's Office with the investigation. Quote, it's not clear if a crime has been committed. The coroner's office was contacted by the Fremont County Sheriff's on a report of an odor coming from the funeral home. After receiving a warrant, they searched the building to find bodies improperly stored, which has created a hazardous scene. Fremont County Sheriff's Alan Cooper described the scene as horrific. Authorities searched an area of more than 2,050 square feet. Keller declined to go further into details on how the bodies have been stored. Keller also stated that it is not yet clear whether the bodies have been intended for burial or cremation. According to Return of Nature's funeral home website, the funeral home offers green burials without embalming fluid in the biodegradable caskets or nothing at all. The company also operates a facility in Colorado Springs. The funeral home previously offered cremation services but stopped in July of 2023. After the scene is determined to be safe and personal protective equipment is provided, authorities will begin retrieving the bodies. The scene will be kept out of public view with tents and or fencing. Families will be notified as soon as the body is identified. A family crisis center and phone line have also been established. Investigators have made contact with the owner of the funeral home and they are cooperating so far. Governor Jared Polis issued a local disaster emergency, which make state resources available for help. I just want to remind people that this is the reason why in other cultures they would rather take the bodies of their loved ones and give them a proper burial because you don't know what you're going to end up with when you deal with other people taking care of your loved ones. Again, I've done a multitude of stories where you had businesses, right? That are supposed to, embalm, your loved one and dress them up real nice and put them directly into a nice casket that you pay for, all to find out that their organs are stolen and that they might be stuffed with newspaper because they're taking organs and they're putting them on the black market or doing whatever it is that they want to specifically do with those organs in order to make some type of side money. And a lot of people aren't aware or don't know anything about this because whenever we happen to give our loved ones over, we don't hire a second person to basically look over everything, to make sure that everything is everything and things are supposed to be directly in place where they are supposed to be in place. Even if it deals with cremation, you still have to deal with the exact same thing because you don't know whose remains you might be getting. You don't know if that's actually your loved one because you're just looking at, some, white dust or whatever it is, and you think that okay, it's them in this urn, and you end up finding out after it's being tested that that is not actually them. That's actually nobody, right? Like I said, it's very dangerous out here. And it's crazy to think that you have to be not only worried about somebody when they're alive, but you have to be worried about them also when they've passed on as well. Again, I feel sorry for anybody's loved ones who um, have to suffer through anything like this where your loved one was not properly stored, right? They were disrespected because obviously the people that are supposed to take care of them did not have any type of level of respect for them. This looks like realistically a full-fledged lawsuit from a multitude of people. If people don't go out there and sue whoever owns this place, I don't know what specifically to tell anybody. I really don't. Because again, stuff like this should not happen. It should not be a thing. If you're going to work with the deceased and their remains, then you should have the same respect, the same level of respect that you would have for a living person. You should have that for a person that is no longer with us. right? But again, the main thing I'll tell people dealing with the story is be very careful, and try to hire somebody else if possible to go over um, you know the the remains of your loved ones with a fine tooth comb. It's better to be safe than sorry.